Hello, I'm Dr. Gears. Welcome to Dr. Gears Presents The Dark World. We were not in any way discussing the no pants dance. Um,
No.
We weren't really talking
Not
about
whatsoever.
dancing.
No.
I like you were talking about dancing.
I was rushing to get my makeup on.
One of those things we weren't discussing.
One of those things we were.
Just
Yeah, we were
how
talking about dancing
questionable
with no
the,
pants
the
on, but
how questionable the proof is that any of us are wearing pants.
It's
right
true.
now.
It's true. It's true. You wouldn't even know. Leave it to your imagination. As long as it brings subs, it's fine. You can think whatever you want. Just subscribe, please. Oh, God.
we could just be straight up Winnie the Poohing this shit, and you would never
There it
know.
is.
No one
Never
would
know.
ever know.
No one ever knows.
Except that we would tell them.
Yeah.
We would
Yeah.
absolutely be
Yeah,
like,
no,
guess what?
Yes. Still, once
There's
again,
no
if
way
I
we
ever
can
get
keep that a
I'm going
secret.
to do a hot tub
Yeah.
stream because reasons. It's still going to be
every
the same
3
view. It's
subs.
just going to have a different background.
Mhm.
But no, brief aside. Also, I know this is a different time. That is because of reasons, mostly involving Phantom. No. Phantom's computer literally exploded.
And there
So-
she goes. Look
And
what you
then,
did.
like as I said,
Look what you
Oh,
fucking
no.
did.
and it was. Oh no.
Oh,
Um,
no.
No.
Incidentally, by the by, my son is doing pretty good. He is up and walking around, more or less. It's a pretty good limp, but he refuses to use his walker, a crutch, a wheelchair, someone's fucking hand, anything. No. He's
Of
just
course not.
he's just a redhead and has already jumped off of a couch twice. Like, would you stop? He's still got
You're
stitches
all a bunch
in.
of fucking opossums. I'm not surprised.
He's still got stitches from the top of
Stitches.
his knee down mid calf
Oh, baby.
Neville,
Yeah.
talk about
and on both
Fucking
sides.
baby.
And
Neville, talk about my technical issues again.
Yeah,
They'll
let's-
bring them
apparently
up.
not.
Your computer took fucking
Exacerbated the
umbrage with
gremlins, but he's doing
Yeah.
really, really good. Also, thank you everyone who donated. I was expecting that to be more difficult. Like it's great. It's very, very good, but it's also like it was weird because kind of conflicted. It's like, man, I don't want to do this again. Blah 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 blah. 24 hours and done. It's like, okay, okay.
that. Yeah, congratulations.
Which is great. There's
People
nothing wrong
love
with it.
you, you
A fucking parent.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
asshole.
I'm a bit of a
No one
bastard.
knows.
Random
But
people on the internet love you. Go
Just
figure.
a bit of a bastard.
No, he's doing much better. We're doing pretty good. Not having too many problems aside from it being 90 degrees. I'm so hot. It's so hot out.
Oh,
So
hot and
I
sweaty.
like it. I like it about I like it about 70. Ideally 65.
70 is too warm.
So here's the problem. Cold physically hurts my wife. Heat physically hurts me.
Nice.
Cannot be okay.
No.
Oof.
There's just no
But
happy
you-
medium.
no. No one can be happy ever.
It's bad. It's
Yeah.
bad.
Never ever.
I mean, you could just put like a screen in between your bed to
As-
like put the hot and cold on
Well,
either
no,
side,
because
but
she like
for some
it's
reason,
not
I
a-
feel like your wife wouldn't really like that either.
no.
That is not
We
how you
can't
get more
an
babies. Nolan.
adjustable bed because
It
she
is
had
not.
one of those once, and they have a kind of a hard spot in the middle, and it prevents snuggling. So she will not allow them
Yeah,
in the house.
snuggles.
It was just new. But we very much appreciate you coming out and watching us, and if not, I'm gonna have fun anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just
We're
gonna
gonna have
go
fun.
We're gonna try.
We'll
Well
try anyway.
Let's
You know,
try.
We're
it's
gonna
fun.
try some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Fun TM.
Mhm.
Some of us having more fun than others. Some of us have not invalidated their central trauma.
Oh yeah.
or
Yep.
or Caroline having a little
Caroline's
bit
having a
tricky
moment.
issue.
Yeah.
She
Like-
began her time with the brain cell at the wrong time, fully understanding her pain.
Well, though, like in between like last session and this one, it felt like doing a time skip.
Oh,
Like
no.
Caroline is
no.
just fucking shell shocked the whole
No,
time.
she's
Unresponsive.
no, just right down into the meat of it.
Yeah.
But we are very appreciative for you guys hanging out, and I do appreciate everyone helping me out. It makes a big difference and also keeps this shit running. So why not? Should have some fun. Should be fairly interesting. Do we want to do promo stuff?
Yep. Yeah, I've got a couple of announcements and a did you know.
Oh!
Let me do the did you know first. I learned this. So
Ooh.
I'm in a digital marketing certification program. And for the class that I'm in right now, I chose to do D&D for my brand study, case study project. Why not? So did you know the D&D logo, the current D&D logo, was created by Glitchka Studios for D&D 5e in 2014 for for
I did not know
5e.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So the current Red Dragon ampersand.
Yeah, ampersand thing.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Chrome Dragon?
Mm-mm.
There is a version with the Chrome Dragon. All right, here's what happened. So Wizards of the Coast owns D&D proper, right?
Yeah.
Publishes all of the D&D books, all the rule books, all
All
the
the stuff.
all the guides, everything.
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
So when Glitchka Studios made the D&D logo, that went to Wizards of the Coast. Everything that's officially D&D published materials has that red dragon D&D logo on it.
Okay.
The first thing Hasbro did was they created the Chrome Dragon D&D logo. That differentiates. If you see that Chrome logo with the Chrome Dragon ampersand on it, that is licensed merch. That is not official Wizards of the Coast D&D merchandise. So if I buy Owl Bear coffee, it's gonna have that because it's licensed by Hasbro. It's not.
That
made
is fascinating. That is legitimately fascinating.
Yep.
That's
So
actually
any of the like Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves movie merchandise, it's gonna have that Chrome Dragon on it.
The Chrome Dragon
that was licensed by Hasbro.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the did you know?
Fascinating.
A D&D did you know?
Yep.
Fascinating.
That's pretty cool.
Second announcement. Fuckhead.
Yes.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Fuckhead goes live
That's
tomorrow.
right. Tomorrow.
You can listen to it on all the SCP Unredacted channels with ads, and it is going to be interrupted like a motherfucker. I'm telling you right now. Telling you right now. Those
Just
ads
gonna
are turned
happen.
up.
Yeah.
You can, however, listen to it ad-free on Patreon for $3. It's feature length. It's an hour and 28 minutes long, and I mean you can go and look at our Twitter page, at our Blue Sky
You
page.
have done dumber things with 1 hour and $3.
There's reviews on there. There's samples on there. It's totally worth $3 for an hour and a half of the experience that you get of listening to that. And all of the funds from that are going to support our 48-hour film project that we're doing in August, which last week we spoke. Gears and Phantom have volunteered to be on the writers team for that project. So
Yay.
they'll be in the writers room.
Yeah.
So $3, buy the ad-free version, help us make that film in August. And then pay the bills. Libris Arcana, home of the dice subscription. Their resin set retail for up to $25, but every month you can get a brand new one-of-a-kind set for $15.99 with free shipping to the U.S. That's nearly $10 off retail, and your first set is only $12.99. Join the community of hardcore tabletop gamers who celebrate Dice Day with Libris Arcana. Every month you can find the link in the channel's About tab or over there on the other side of Knox the Box. Visit librisarcana.com, and I think this is our off week. We won't be. Yeah.
We very much appreciate them helping out again. They make good dice. They make seriously good dice. Okay, so here's what you do. You go on, you find Pound of Dice. You can get dice by weight. Amazon, a few other places. You get that. And then the good dice you get from the dice subscription. So you have stuff to just kind of bulk things out, and then at the glitch moments, you have the good dice. And anyone who's played, you have to have the good dice to make the important rolls.
Good dice, yeah.
No, they are.
No,
I got a set of gear-printed metal dice for my birthday once, and those boys don't come out for the regular rolls.
No.
That's for the heavy shit.
How do you
That's
guys
how it
feel
is.
about spin downs?
Spin
What's
down?
that? I
Yeah.
don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
The numbers, so on like a regular D20, the
Mhm.
numbers are opposite each other, like the 1
Yeah.
and the 19 are opposite each
Yeah.
other. On a spin down, so spin downs are made to count down. I picked these up at our local store.
Ooh.
So instead of the numbers being opposite each other, sort of randomized around the die, it's 20, 19, 18,
Oh,
17,
yeah,
16.
yeah.
So you
Like a
can use it,
magic
so you can
dice.
just kind of roll it as a countdown die.
I have seen that,
Hmm.
and I have seen those a lot of times used for counters.
Yep.
If you play Magic the Gathering, life counters very often have that because it's a little bit easier to keep track. They also have spinner dice. I don't know if you've ever seen those. Like it's
Yeah.
I've seen the spinners, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
like
know
the spinners.
something
Yeah.
like that.
those are cool.
Hmm.
Those are fun. But never.
I think the top ones.
Yeah, I've seen those. My wife has some crystal dice. They're like jade colored, but they like look like they're really they look like crystals. It's actually really cool.
Nice.
Dice whinging. I want bullet dice at some point. I don't know if you've seen those.
Bullet dice
Oh,
would be
the
so-
the ones with
They
the
they come in a little
handles.
over
Yeah,
barrel, and they're like bullet shaped. It's
Yes.
so
those are
ridiculously ostentatious, and I don't care. Want them. Bullet dice.
Oh, someone disappeared.
Who
Who?
did?
Two people disappeared.
Who?
Who?
Oh, wait, maybe it might be me. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
Phantom.
Probably you.
I think we're there.
Yeah.
There it is.
Wow.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's that kind of day.
Mhm.
Welcome back.
there we go.
It's that kind of day.
What do you mean? It's a Tuesday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
followed us. Turns out the other days are the good days.
Oh yeah.
You know how good
Yep.
we had them. Speaking of everything going right, we had a D&D game.
Yes, we do.
Oh yeah.
Most recently, some things happened.
Mm.
You can say that.
An elder brain came to a conclusion by various definitions of that process. That someone named Grimaldus, who called himself a god and might be underestimating himself, did a reality-based terrorism. So not just burning down a parking lot, but burning down a sense of self. Reality shit. It was bad.
Very good.
Caroline had a bit of a moment in all of the, as everything coming apart, having a unique moment of realizing, oh shit, I might be the baddie. I might
Hans?
literally.
Are we the baddies?
I think I might literally.
I fucking
be
hope so.
The bad
I
person.
don't want to be the good guy. That's not what I'm here for.
Specifics like, oh, the thing I vowed not to do, or allow to. The thing I vowed not to allow to happen again. I actively made happen. Whew, it's a problem.
It did a trauma.
It did.
Yeah.
Managed to escape the city. Tatter was briefly inventoried by Uzgash.
Yeah, everything's fine.
That is the fate of the portal.
Tieflings are usually tall. This one is not.
No.
Short
Yeah.
legs.
Yeah. We like them tiny. Small.
Small.
And it managed to escape into the wild streets, where
Finally.
bit of a situation, bit of an issue. And
never
as
fucking
with
leaving.
all violent trauma, let's get something to eat. It's generally, again, just some kind of devastating message. I'll make tea. And that's how it works.
Kind of peckish.
Kind of how it works.
Yeah, Draven's got some splaining to do.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a moment.
Where's
That's
Frank?
not working.
Where's Frank
Yeah.
the chef when you need him?
It's just going to bring up. Moves on the street. And the thing is, you're an unthinker. And son of a bitch. It isn't exactly where you remember it being, but you do see that particular door that Frank's ass popped out of. And what the hell? for want of anything better. Um, there's a brief knock, and I don't know if you've ever worked in or around a kitchen. It pretty much goes the way you expect. Someone comes in, yeah, who the fuck are you? Oh yeah, and then someone's screaming for someone else, like they're trying to, escape a dungeon. Frank, just
Frank!
someone fucking watch.
Where the fuck is Frank?
Yeah, just like just reverberates. But son of a bitch, in your general hard scrabble, dusty shell-shocked way, Frank, sous chef, comes tumbling up and, oh hey, it's you guys. Hey, shit, you guys all right?
Not really, no.
I'm fine.
Oh shit. You guys want something to eat?
Peckish.
Yes.
Do you have
that
key
would-
lime pie?
Maybe. Yeah,
I hope
we-
not. That shit's awful.
he
Sam's just trying to lead in Caroline behind
Yeah,
him.
it just she's a little shaky.
Yeah.
Draven
Oh.
kind of pairing Frank off for a moment, and you hear him kind of some money changing hands. It's just and there goes the Phantom.
I think this is gonna be her night.
It's gonna be how it is.
Mhm.
But Frank kind of leading you through, and you briefly have a view of a pretty nice dining room. It's not the fanciest thing in the whole world, but it's pretty nice. That is not where you go.
Nope.
You are whisked to a different
I
area.
wouldn't put us in a fancy dining room.
No.
That seems like one of those rooms you hire for catering. But there's no one here right now. And kind of rucks you in and I'll get you guys something. And go scuttling. And everyone's just kind of sitting in chairs. It's relatively nice. There's the vague sound of, restaurant noises. Most of them
Restaurant
recognizable.
noises.
Some of the languages, just kind of whiffing ambiently around, are a little bit of a challenge. But it's quiet. It's relatively safe. And everyone kind of flumping into chairs and taking a breath for a moment. It's just kind of taking breaths and kind of brushing off the dust of a city that may not exist anymore. That's one of those special.
I don't know what you're talking
feelings.
about. We weren't just there. We had nothing to do with that. We've been here the whole time, if anyone asks.
Mm.
Tatter proceeds to gaslight her way out of problems.
God.
And it's Draven just okay.
Draven,
Yeah.
I want you to know that you broke a fucking promise. I want you to know that.
Oh. How's that?
When you hired me, you asked me what I would give to make sure that this shit didn't happen again. And I said everything.
Yes.
I fucking meant that.
Absolutely.
I would do anything to prevent this. This. And we fucking did it ourselves.
Well, thank heavens you didn't give everything.
I would have given.
Forgive me for just a moment. I understand that it's an issue. But you're a fucking adult. And you get there by being a hypocrite and failing. Okay, so we fucked up. You're still alive. We can try again. We'll get to it, I promise. Now, aside from personal matters, explanations. I believe you're probably due. as he's rallying up Frank, kind of seems to read the vibe. It's just kind of nice sandwiches and coffee, just kind of
Ooh, sandwiches.
onto the table, and he just quietly withdraws.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
as I mentioned, I'm from out of town. This is not my world, and I didn't fucking pick this. I didn't have any more choice of experiencing this than you did. So, there's a few things we might have to go back and forth a little bit. But bear with me. I was snatched out of a rather comfortable life and thrown into this horse shit. I wasn't alone. There were other entities, one of them being Grimaldus. And some sort of game. Why? For what stakes? I don't really know. There was a lot of talk about ascension and wishes and power and blah, blah, blah. I don't know how much of this is legitimate. I don't know how much of this is dark gods having a fun time.
Oh, are you?
Oh no.
Oh, no!
There you go.
Mhm.
I don't know how much of this is just dark gods having a good time. But I do know that I was drawn into this garbage, along with Grimaldus and quite a few others, and pitched into the world to, well, to do for them what you do for me, ultimately. And admittedly, at the start of it, I was interested, but I very quickly decided against. I'd like to know more about what the fuck is actually going on. I don't necessarily like taking orders from other people, especially when I don't know what the hell is going on. And if nothing else, I'm a defiant, stubborn bastard. So I decided to try and tip another way. Part of the reason I was investigating all this is because I believed that I had found some unique flaw in the way that the dark works. You know, reality was it was Grimaldus fucking about, which was not ideal, because I've been able to keep away from the other players up until this point, and now I haven't. Which sucks, and it's a pretty serious problem. Now, about the dark. I don't know everything. I don't think anybody does. It's it's decay, so to speak. As these dark forces, these gods, for want of a better term, and other rogue magics, begin to shred and bite into this world, the refuse of destroyed magic's broken fate and digested souls spills back into the world and constitutes as what is colloquially referred to as the dark. It is omnipresent and necrotizing. As long as it exists, it will continue to spread. I'm not sure if it will actually kill everything. It might just twist it in some intrinsic way. I believe this may have happened before. That this is not the first time that this has happened. I understand more of it than some, but not all of it. Because of that, I am able to more directly manipulate and utilize it, because that's why I'm fucking here. To work for the amusement of other forces, and I can't do that unless I can do it. Which is bad. Now, Why did this happen? Why are we in this state? It comes down to a very simple thing. Now, the mechanics of it are complicated, but the action is simple. Some people looked at the world and realized they didn't have a place in it, that they did not fit, that they could not accept the world as it stood by various means. And in their efforts to bring change, they realized that that wouldn't work. And at the end of it, they appealed out to what was both able to listen and able to help. And their request was relatively simple. Everything you have. Give me everything you have for everything you've always wanted. And so they pressed forth with their appeals and prayers and asked them for a new world. And they got it. So that's some of the broadest strokes. I've been utilizing all of you, using you in truth, in my attempts to try and skate around and poke at the edges of the game, to try and, in essence, cheat. Try to find a way around it. And it kind of worked. But now, it didn't. With Grimoldus taking an interest, he probably won't just back away. He will have to be dealt with at some point. In addition, with how all this ran out, you're a little bit more involved now. So, out of deference to this position and these issues, I believe it behooves me to at least give you the opportunity to make an informed decision at this point. Please don't be hasty with it. And I imagine there's still some questions to be answered. But that's the meat of it, so to speak. And there's just sort of a pause for a little bit as everyone kind of processes, the quiet sound of munching. As are wont to happen.
I think Sam speaks up and just says, so what you're saying is you're using us as random pawns to see what you could do.
Don't think it's right.
That is somewhat correct, but actually not. I am the random pawn. You are, unfortunately, a step lower than that. But yes, I was very much using you in the hopes that it would bring results, and it did. Not exactly what I was expecting, both better and worse. So, yes. I was trying to understand more of the game, how it functions, how to try and cheat my way out of this. And it didn't work very well. So
I want to understand what happened to the world. Some people wanted a new world.
yes.
And so they reached out to these beings
Yes.
from outside the world
Yes.
and said, we want a new world.
Correct.
We'll give you everything we have
Yes.
for everything you can do
Yes.
to make this world a new world.
Yes.
And this is the result.
That is correct.
Who are these beings?
That's a good question.
Thanks. I thought of it myself.
You're really smart sometimes. You know?
I don't know all of them.
Aberration?
It varies.
Ruin and his cohorts. Grimaldus and his cohorts. Who are we talking?
The entities that sold the world out. I don't know. I know of a few. Draven has a moment and kind of surreptitiously sort of looks over to Tatter.
Munching on her sandwiches.
Yeah,
Very
it just-
happily.
Just kind of
unperturbed.
has this vaguely
It's
helpless
fine with
gesture.
everything going on around her.
Perception or insight check. Did I catch that?
I'll give it to you for free.
Yeah.
You do see
I'm guessing that was kind of obvious.
a little. It's kind of hard to be too surreptitious with it. So,
Good sandwiches.
the previous occupant of Tatter's body. If it is any assistance at all, Tatter has no direct memory or involvement, but is tenanting the shell left behind.
I was really hoping we wouldn't talk about this.
Yes, and I'm sorry, but
I know.
came
It
right
was
down.
gonna happen.
It-
Well, it's gonna happen.
It sounds worse than it is.
I'm gonna need a stronger drink.
Yes. Frank, Dane, could you? Shortly after, a couple bottles of cheap house wine are brought.
Thank you, Dane.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Wait, so you're saying that Tatter's undead?
No,
Hope pours the bottle and drinks out of it.
she's not. She didn't die. She is, in very broad terms, referred to as returned. The soul that is in her body is different. It is associated and perhaps even extrapolated from the previous soul. It may even be a form of it, shed like a snakeskin. I don't know. And the body, the physical makeup, is more or less identical to the previous existence. However, the being that inhabited this, well, to put a fine point on it, I've sold the world to things that would make hell pale and quiver in fear, then ascended to some other state of being, leaving this behind. Just a moment, my wife has come here. What's up?
Another
What's
bottle of water.
Oh no.
Oh,
There'll be a brief
yes.
the
Oh
drama.
yes, yeah.
Come on, little boy. Incidentally,
on,
my
little
tiny
boy.
son wants to say hi.
Tiny son,
Come here.
Yo!
tiny son
Come
attack.
on.
Hi, son!
Because that
Gremlin.
Yes, your balloon.
Small perfect
Ah.
gremlin
Yo.
child.
This.
Hi, baby.
Hey, how you doing?
This is my little cog.
Yo!
That is his balloon. He got
That is
so
a-
many balloons at the hospital.
I love
Yeah.
He's
that.
been intolerable with
Tell
them.
him his balloon is amazing.
Your balloon is amazing. Don't just let it go.
That's what you're supposed to do with balloons.
Ding dong. Oh, it comes back down.
Yeah.
Keep
Good
them
job.
forever.
Why is your heart beating so fast?
Because we're a gremlin.
We're very excited.
About my Shrek movie.
Oh, you
Nice.
watched a lot of
Oh.
Shrek
Yeah.
in the hospital.
Nice.
Aw.
How's your leg
Ooh.
doing?
Fine.
How's that
Fine.
pussy?
Good.
Yeah, it's
Good.
fine. Why?
Good.
Everybody was praying for you. Making
Yeah.
sure you were okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're glad to
Crossed
see
our
you're
fingers.
okay.
How
Yeah.
how
Hey,
is your
Gears.
pain big or itty bitty?
It has his itty bitty pain.
Aw.
Aw.
Ask him of all of his dad's friends right here, who's his favorite.
Okay, who's your
Oh, no.
favorite? Who's your favorite on the screen? Which one?
This guy.
Ah, it is Knox.
Hey! Is it because he looks like your dad?
Probably, yeah.
There you go. All right, go on. I'm in the middle of drama.
I got show them.
It's fun. What are you showing?
Oh,
What are
what
we
you showing?
showing?
He can wiggle his nose, kind of.
Like a bunny.
Oh.
Nice.
All right,
Heck
go.
yeah.
Nice.
so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
I need to teach him how to flip his
Aw.
eyelids inside out.
Don't teach him how to flip his eyelids inside.
Yes, I'm gonna.
No.
Fucking let me at him.
Anna already does that. Or
Oh, see? Perfect. Wonderful.
I love you. Anyway, sorry.
How fucking dare you interrupt this moment with
That
your
is the
adorable
level.
fucking child.
That is the level of cuteness I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
Oh,
You poor
How
poor
do you-
bastard.
how
Oh,
do you not
How
have
do you get
diabetes
anything
Definitely
from
your
the
son.
sweetness?
it's really bad.
How do you get anything done?
How do you
It's
not
big-
have diabetes from the sweetness? My
Diabetes.
God.
He
Diabetes.
keeps getting-
Diabetes.
He keeps getting called a girl. It's like it's not his fault. He's gorgeous.
No.
It's he's gorgeous. I'm sorry. He has the same hair as Griffith from Berserk. It's not his fault, but he was a badass, so it's okay. He has the same texture hair. It's fucked up. Anyway,
It kind of does. He kind of does.
like, this is that quality kind of. You should see him right after a shower. It's all just
Not the cuddle, but the same hairstyle, yeah.
no, no.
Adorable. Ridiculously cute. It's unfair.
I don't know why I produce cute children. I do.
No one will ever know. I blame the wife.
Yeah, it's probably pretty safe. Probably pretty safe. Anyway, this is the kind of derail content you subscribe for.
Mhm,
Yes,
mhm.
it is.
This is what you're paying for. This,
'Cause you
this
never
shit right here.
fucking know.
Begone, butt.
Oh, did we get a bot?
Yeah, we got
yeah.
it.
No. My
Okay.
God, we're worthy of a bot. Uh,
Right? We must be doing
We've
okay.
arrived. Shit. Anyway,
It's the only way you know we're live is because we delete the bots. Yeah.
That's how it is. Anyway, there's no Tatter is a leftover, and I'm not saying that in a mean way, but is a interesting existence.
Oh, that's for sure.
There is some
Interesting.
association and some possibilities, but is not the same entity. But that is one piece of it. It's been part of what I've been trying to determine is who and why and how. But it is... I have determined one thing. It actually doesn't take a whole hell of a lot to damn the world. You'd think it'd be more of a group effort. But no, it can actually come down to very small amounts with the willingness to make things happen. The things doing this, the forces, you call them gods, it's good enough. Sort of charged in. And it was sort of the issue and the equivalency of a playhouse full of children playing war being invaded by a private military company. There wasn't much of a chance. The entities that came here have most likely done this before multiple times, and they're pretty good at it. So, there you have it.
Let me just clarify something.
Yes.
So Tata,
Mhm.
she was the person who she used to be.
Yes.
Did this.
In a matter of speaking, yes.
The person who used to be Tatter.
Correct. The entity before this, to be fair, Tatter and the entity that existed before her have as much general connection as parent and child. Yes, it's significant, but they are unique beings. There are likely similarities, but they are unique.
And it wasn't Tata as we know who did
No.
it.
No.
Nor does she remember doing it?
And there's sort of a glance over.
Do
I don't
you?
believe
No,
so.
no. Just continue pretending I'm not here. It's fine.
Well, no, I don't want to talk over you. It's just I know some of this is uncomfortable for you.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I should actually just be asking you this. I apologize.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not here.
Oh, shush. Why are you like me? I had a cat like you once.
No, I just remember my life as a scholar. I don't remember anything before it.
Okay, then I guess I don't really have much to be mad at Tata for. Then I have another question though.
Yes.
Why should we continue now with this?
Thank you.
Well,
Because the whole reason why I was healed just got shot in the face.
yes.
And if this is the end state of the world, if someone sold it out
Yes.
and got booted to another dimension as their reward for selling the world out, and this is the ultimate end of what's to become of the world as we've known it for our entire lives, why not just burn the whole thing and put it out of its misery now?
So, dual answer. Caroline, you first. Why should you continue? I'm sorry that things worked out the way they did. It is unfortunate. If you want to quit, that's up to you. But you didn't strike me as someone who gives up the first time they fail. So,
This
perhaps I
wasn't.
misjudged.
Was this a?
Was
It wasn't exactly a failure, Caroline.
Yeah, it didn't really seem like a failure.
Oh. I'm sorry that it worked out the way that it did. Hypocrisy is part of being an adult. You have to decide at certain points that you're willing to bend rules and supersede your ideals because you don't have a fucking choice. Now, I'm not unsympathetic to the situation. I'm not. And believe me, I do understand. But if you want to be angry at someone, be angry at the entities and the beings that made this happen. Not me, and not yourself. There's no point for that. You're welcome to give up. That's your choice. If you are all right with this continuing as it is, if you are all right at being a leaf blown by the winds of fate, then you can quit. That's fine. Sometimes it's easier not to think ignorance truly is bliss. But aside from that, why bother? Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, I'm not entirely sure that the bitch is completely dead yet. It is possible that this could be, for lack of a better term, unfucked. Not recovered, but stabilized. Secondly, even if you were to burn the bitch down, you'll be the happiest man on the cinder, which isn't ideal. Third, there's a lot of advantage to be had here, a lot of opportunity and ability. If you're stuck on a sinking ship and not in immediate trouble, it does pay to bust into the staterooms and see what sort of jewelry got left behind in the haste. Yes, you're playing a rough game, but you always have to think till tomorrow. And that's what I try to do. Because like it or not, willing or not, ready or not, tomorrow the sun will rise and you will become hungry and you will have to work for your pay. Because ultimately it doesn't matter. As much as you hurt, as much as you are confused, as dangerous as things are, time marches on. And what we do today prepares us for tomorrow. Yes, it might suck really, really bad. But if you don't make hay now, you starve in the winter. So if we are going to try and make some sort of go of this, we need to try to do the best that we can, gain as much as possible, become relatively capable, possibly to the point of injuring or even killing some of the entities that murdered the world. I don't know if that will fix things, but good fucking lord, it would make it more comfortable to die if you can see the thing that puts you in that position rotting on the horizon. In addition, the other players in the game will most likely try to utilize you or destroy you. You have been transposed slightly. Apparently, Dane has been speaking slightly out of turn. I interceded and prevented your fate. When I met with you, you were in a path where if you had gone one way, you would have died. I stepped in the way and instead recruited you, thereby putting you in a position where death becomes more nebulous, putting you on a path that fate did not intend. Because I am not from here, and as an outside force, when I directly intercede on fates in this way, it fucks things up really bad. So, the end result of this being in the broadest strokes, that if you want to cut and run, that is an option. It may not be easy, but it is. If we want to keep going, then we play for real. No more pussyfooting around. I may not enjoy it, but we play. We try and knock some of the others out. We try and get more powerful and more influence over some of the dark.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no! Try and get more influence over some of the dark things here, and then see what sort of factions we can knock by the wayside. And either we save things and get to some sorts of stability, or manage to load the hold enough to make a fine voyage to somewhere that doesn't suck. So, that's the quick and dirty version.
Will this happen again?
Somewhere else?
No, I mean, will we cause this to happen again?
I don't think so. It's a unique circumstance. I'm willing to bet Romualdus was investigating the rain. But are we going to cause some sort of atrocity that leads to multiple death? Will innocents die to pay for our ambition? Will bad things happen to good people because of the choices we make? Yes.
I'm not talking about on that small of a scale. I'm talking about on this size of a scale.
Oh, you consider this a large scale?
Yes, I do.
I see. Then it's possible. It's not ideal, don't get me wrong. It's not something that I choose, but it comes down to a relatively bloodless position. If it comes down between me and someone else, I'm going to pick me. It's unfortunate. I wish I could be more compassionate. But ultimately, everyone has to make this decision, because if you don't pick yourself, then why aren't you in a death cult and drop the pretense? If you want to sacrifice yourself for others, do it and get out of the way. I'm all I have, and I can affect that which I can reach, for good or ill. Things beyond my reach can take care of themselves. Yes, it is unfortunate that various people smothered and died in the second reign of runes. It is unfortunate. No one is more regretful than me. But if it comes down to them or me and my work, fuck them.
Speaking from first-hand experience of a death cult, man has a point.
I am sympathetic to your concerns, Caroline. But you're a little bit too tough for this. I am sorry that this is the situation. I'm sorry that we're here. Did you think the heretics you burned thanked you in the starving, burning final breaths for releasing them from their torment?
Or their
No.
families.
We all make decisions that suck.
Family said.
We all make decisions that suck. We all do things that perhaps other people would judge harshly. It is unfortunate. We all have ideals that we would like to hold to, that we would like to keep to. Myself, I made myself a deep personal vow that I would not get involved in this kind of petty bullshit again. I have broken it several times. So here we are. If you're going to crack and break, believe me, I understand it does happen. But you have come too far and sacrificed too much to shatter because of one little bump in the road. Just Frank quietly coming in. He's got some cold cuts and pickles. Just
Ooh, thank you.
Alcohol.
Yeah,
I don't care what.
just kind of moving it in.
Munches on pickles.
He looks like very much who has served a tense table before. He kind of gets it. He waits for the lulls to get in. Just
We've spoken with Frank about this place.
Yeah.
We've spoken with you about this place.
yes.
This place seems to be. Correct me if I'm wrong. A gateway, path to other worlds,
More the second than
a
the
back
first.
door, exit.
It is brief crash course. This is something referred to as a demi-plane. It is not a complete world, nor reality. It is its own little pocket. And to put a fine point on it, a very long time ago, a man discovered the greater spheres that lie beyond his own world and didn't fucking like them, and decided to fucking pave them over, bury them in concrete and rebar, and grind the mountains down into flat foundations. He was a psychopath and a lunatic. He is, hopefully, dead. I don't know. But he built this great city and proceeded forth. The wild streets, I believe, roost here. I don't think they're his construct. the great architect, put this in motion, and because of his desire to architect everything, it is very penetrative. It reaches a lot of different locations. I actually have experience here. It is something I've found to be consistent. Very often, regardless of where you are, there's a way to get here. It is incredibly useful and incredibly dangerous. I know some of the other players make use of it now and then. I have carefully.
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
There you go.
Because quite honestly, I am a coward, and this place scares the piss out of me at times. But no, it does connect to a lot of different things.
So, with an exit to the world of our choosing laid out in front of us, we're having a conversation about going back and saving this piece of shit. We're having this conversation.
True.
Sam, are you taking this seriously?
Sam's just like kind of in deep thought over some of the things that Draven has said so far, and is kind of half paying attention right now. And it's just like, sorry, what?
Here's the thing. Doing it. What I found that is a little bit of an issue is if you don't have the right sort of affinity, you can't leave. You're welcome to try. What I found is that things tend to loop back the way that they are. Where you came from tends to spit you out back there when you try to go somewhere else. Now, there is a way around it, but it's not exactly fun. You have to bind yourself to the city. It means this is home. Forever. You can visit and wander, yes. But also, the city doesn't really understand humanity well. And the longer you bind with it, the more that flexibility seeps in. It's complicated, but believe me, it's not exactly a solution. However, I do understand. And there is an option, by the by. We could potentially crack the connection between the home world and elsewhere. We just need to do a few things, get powerful enough, and if we really want to cheat, kill a god.
I can think of one or two.
I imagine. In so doing, we may be able to liberate a little bit more effectively.
But why?
Why?
Why not just stay here? This is great. I think I'm fine here. Oh, that reminds me. Finds her bag.
Yeah.
She's gonna read her book. She's gonna read her book. Is she reading her book?
Book.
Oh, gotta get that book out.
Chatter's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Chatter's gone.
Slams the book
We
on
lost
the
Chatter.
table
It's
and flips it open.
just as she does so, Draven just quietly to Frank, you want to get her some tea? Something robust. Thank you.
An exercise, Draven.
Yes.
There's a matter of payment
Ah. Yes. Yes.
for our adventure in the oubliette.
Yes. Yes. Well, I did help get you out of there alive, to be fair.
Thank you.
No, don't look at me so. No. We'll see that you're paid. Don't worry.
We'll see that we're paid How much? This is the exercise.
Book.
I'm taking this somewhere, Draven. Play with me.
There he is. Well,
Are we gonna build a snowman?
Damn it. I just hit it the wrong time.
Sorry.
It's fun. We can talk about money, or we can talk about resource and opportunity. If you're interested.
What would the resource and opportunity conversation sound like for a task like saving the fucking world, Draven?
Well, this place does have a certain degree of affinity, and it does have a certain degree of opportunity. So what we could do is get you established here safely, instead of having to use the estate and the carriage. Look on this side. One of the advantages of all this that I think you might find a little bit interesting is if you don't know how to get here, it is very, very hard to get here by accident. If, say, someone were trying to find you, it would be exceptionally difficult to track you here. If you were trying to, say, get to isolated locations, ones that perhaps are not the easiest acquainted with, the correct manipulation of the wild streets and some other aspects, they could be accessed. It's an opportunity. Now, for the canny folks, which I'm sure you are, you might wonder why the hell would you bother? Because it is very, very, very true what they say. You cannot fight City Hall. And unfortunately, there are rules.
Oh, are you?
Oh, no! There are rules about residency, housing, taxes, all that wonderful stuff. It's enough to say it'd be complicated. Believe me, you'll understand. I can help you get established, get some resources around, and then make a go of it.
And that's payment for services rendered.
To an extent, yes. We'll get you some goodies and a little bit of sugar on the back end. There's some opportunities here we don't get a chance to poke with. Some baubles, a little bit of cash, the good shit. It'll be worth it. Trust me. I'm not going to
same
stiff
conversation, Draven.
you.
We're not having the same conversation.
Then please explain.
If this employment relationship is going to continue into what you're proposing, rescuing, saving, stifling this darkness in a world gone shit.
What do you get out of it?
I'm thinking continents.
Well, are you sure that's all? So, there is another piece of this that I suppose we can bring up at this point. As I said, we're playing a game at the behest of darker and greater forces. I think I've mentioned before the name Greed King. I didn't go into too much.
Greed.
So, it's a colloquial name. They have others. That's the one I know them as. I guess to put a fine point on it, ascension. To greatly simplify a situation, the way things sit right now, think of being a god like wearing a crown. All right? If you kill someone who's wearing a crown, the crown doesn't die, it just falls off. If you pick it up and put it on, that makes you a god. These are options that exist.
Are you trying to tell them that you're gonna help us be gods,
Not
or
in
that
the
we
way
can
you're
become
thinking.
gods?
Well, the line is thin.
I don't know.
What I'm
I
saying.
don't know if that's right for all of us to be.
Well, no. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It is an option.
Absolute power and all.
Well, yes. And it can be an issue. But what I can say is this. It is not a permanent state. So what you could potentially do is become a demigod for a few hours. Make some necessary changes. And then toss it off into the void. It's an
I
option.
imagine that would create a power vacuum, though. I imagine something else would come to get it.
That's why you throw really, really hard.
Did you see this book?
Yes.
This book will give me what I want. I don't want to be a god. I want this book.
I see.
Let me know when you can offer me something I want.
What being is more of a slave to their own nature?
But having access to the power of a god, or at least the ability to effect change on a scale of godhood, not the worst thing.
Eh.
And if that is not appealing, then overtaking continents and nations and the reforging of the way things are, absolutely viable. Absolutely.
I'm in.
Delightful.
Only a little surprised at that. Knox, do you want to be a god? Or Sam, do you want to be a god?
Sam, this entire conversation has been no, because like some of the stuff that Draven has said has brought up some
moments.
some moments for Sam. And now with this kind of offer on the table, they're just kind of thinking, and then
We'll come back round.
It's Draven.
No, they're just like, no, like Sam's just quiet for a second, and then it's just like,
We'll call it Samtasia.
Samtasia.
Sam's just like,
We'll park it right next to Filialia.
first of all, I want you to answer several questions for me before I give any kind of answer.
Of course.
My first question: when you told Caroline that you stepped in the way of her fate, was that for all of us?
Yes.
I would have died. I'm aware.
Then that brings me to my second question.
I was.
When you found me, what was my fate supposed to be?
To die.
All right.
Anything more specific?
Yes. Trust me. You're better not knowing. And that's not just to you. It tends to get into people's heads.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think they're gonna trust you again anytime soon.
Of course.
well, my question, or a follow-up question to that is, if that was the case, you could have done this for anyone. So, why us? And in my case, why specifically me?
I mean,
Well,
figure that one out for you.
certain markers, certain abilities that I thought would be useful, certain potentialities. I know I may play at it, but I don't know everything. I have insight, the ability to perceive better than some, even most. And with that, I try to look forward and back and even into the present to try and see those who have good potential and try and pitch it forward. Sometimes that's just general ability. Sometimes it's what could be. When I looked at you, Sam, I saw a lovely yet uncut gemstone. Now, how precious, how beautiful, I don't know. But one that would prosper by experience. So I took a chance. And it seems to be panning out. If you don't mind my saying.
And it's not because I might have some kind of connection to one of the so-called players in this game.
Oh, definitely had to do with that.
It's a bonus. Not a necessity, but a note in favor.
What exactly is it? Because I've spoken to it.
So, there are first, you have to get over a pretty difficult hurdle. The idea that there's more than one truth. That there are multiple things related to the same subject that can be both opposite and true. The things you're involved with have most likely spun you up a fair bit and seem to be working at cross purposes. There is a reason, because they are. You have some who have ideas on how you and your people will be used. Within this, they have some own ideas and thoughts on how they will move forward and be utilized. And then you have other entities, more powerful but more remote, who feel the same. These things aren't necessarily better or worse than each other. They are just different ways of looking at things. It's perspective, ultimately. Draw a curved line in the sand. From one direction, it's a sea. From the other direction, it's a U, or a hill, or the curvature of a parabola. It depends on your position. It doesn't change the nature of what it is. It is your perception that defines it. What is your source? What is your destiny? Who and or what are you? It is perspective. Are you defined by others or yourself? This is unfortunately an issue. Now, granted, this is a problem for most people, but for you, it is slightly more so. I know it sounds a bit philosophical, but to get down to the brass tack. Well, I do try to spare you when I can. It might be a little bit much to take. Do you want to know?
I would rather no one else undermine me.
Hmm.
So I would prefer that you tell me everything.
You are a protoplasmic entity. They go by several names: changeling, slime, doppelganger. The end result being entities that lack a distinct, designated, consistent physical form. They vary. They come from a central primal entity.
Oh, I am.
Oh no! They come from a central primal entity. It is a sentient mass. Now, granted, it is divided a great deal, and these entities have found their way through various means. However, occasionally, one of them has an ancestral recall. You see, doppelgangers and shapeshifters are somewhat limited. You're not. You harken back to this protoplasmic primal form, which allows you much more flexibility in your ability to adapt and change, not merely in your physical body, but your emotional and spiritual. You are as adaptive and malleable in mind, will, and soul as you are in body. This was on purpose. The birth or existence is unique and random, but you had the misfortune of being brought into existence under the court of the unwilling eye, which operates as assassins, saboteurs, and spies for other entities. However, you were supposed to be a cuckoo bird, to sit and swallow the eggs of their enemies and bring destruction, but you didn't. Instead, you gained a soul, so to speak. A will and consciousness much more related to humanity. You see, most of these entities have no human emotion of any type. They can emulate it and copy it very effectively. But it is no more than bird song. You legitimately feel things, which is confusing and massively upsetting to your fellows. Because that doesn't fucking happen. Now, the hows and whys are a little bit outside of me. But it does mean that you sit in a very difficult position. Your abilities and will and life is one that tends to be both predatory and completely soulless. But the life you're living now isn't, and is much more fraught with emotion, as I'm sure Uzgosh could attend to. Just a quick camera pan. Uzgosh has like
This poor
half
bitch,
a
yeah.
sandwich
Yeah.
into his fucking face with a bottle of wine.
What was it you guys carrying
This
us?
poor
Like,
fucking guy is here too.
I'm sorry,
Like-
I wasn't paying attention. It's
like, oh yes, you guys can possibly become gods, and then like, just like him just eating a sandwich in a corner.
just horking that bitch down and just. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. It's fine.
You're fine.
Just
Sit there and be pretty.
So it's fucked up. And for my part, if it's any assistance, I don't really give a shit where you go with it. Bliss or pain, health or blight. I'm just interested to see where you go with things. Is compassion something you grow or something you're born with? Can you indeed recover from being a born sociopath? It's a question.
I suppose we have Janius to thank for that.
He was a good man.
He
A
was
good
the best.
man in a tough position. Anything else, dear Sam?
You said that I was supposed to be a cuckoo bird, as you put it.
Correct.
And you've stated before that you can somewhat see our pasts as well.
Yes.
So if they knew,
Sorry.
why did it take them so long, since you are so knowledgeable about it, to come after us until they did? Why not just find Janius, kill him, and then be done with it? Why have a child go through all of that?
That is one of the things I'm trying to find out. There are unpleasant implications. It could just be negligence. It could be various things. Or, more unsettling, they may have wished a child to grow up with that sort of unimaginable suffering for their own reasons. That it was a conscious choice, and that the way things worked out was not in any way an accident.
Nature versus nurture.
This may come as a shock to you, but even before everything went to shit, there are some very, very unpleasant people in the world. And there are some people that would willingly install emotional response in a being that is incapable of naturally feeling this, just to make them feel pain. Which is a monstrous thing to do. I'm still trying to determine some of these things. Incidentally, this could be something that we could explore together. If you wish, of course.
They murdered the only father I had. I don't give a shit what kind of experiment they were going for. Once we get out of here, you're going to tell me who and where they are. And that's not a choice. You're going to.
I see. Well, Sam, if you develop the ability to make me answer for things I don't know, then please do so. And if it works, I'll have additional things for you. But we have means to find out. Don't worry. All things in time. I understand that you're upset. It seems to be going around.
I'm not upset.
Yes. Incidentally, you're looking for chapter 8.
Oh, thank you.
And,
Yes. So Filial's going to be a god. Sam's going to get therapy. Caroline, do you want to be a god? Do you need
I have no
therapy?
desire to be a god. Zero desire to be a god.
large
I-
colt, big hat, lots of gold. Not a god, but
I still don't know why I should
Zero.
leave my new favorite home for anybody's sake.
I'm gonna be honest. I need a night.
fair enough.
I need a night.
Yes. It's sometimes good to sleep on things. Hey, Sam. No, no.
Sam
Sam,
just gives him a cold look.
Let me be clear. I'm still on board with the burn the whole thing down and go somewhere else idea.
No. Absolutely.
But
I'm
if-
on the
if-
stay here idea.
If this is, if we're gonna dive into the whole save the world, then the reward needs to match the risk, and that's
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And it may be saving the world. It may be filling up the hold with plunder before we let the bitch sink. Either way, we still need to get involved. Sam, I will say this. It may be difficult. The road may not be easy. But I do vow this to you, and please hold me to it, that you will absolutely, without question, have the opportunity to take revenge on those who led to Janice's death. That I promise.
If you bring me a body, we can ask it questions.
Tatter, now we've spoken before.
That's
Hmm?
an idea.
I'm just
Sure.
saying.
Sure.
That is an idea.
I can help you melt faces all along the way. It's not really that big of an issue.
I think getting Sam answers is gonna be one of the easiest parts of the next fucking several weeks.
We'll get you sold.
Yeah.
Pain's
just
like
doesn't
wine, Sam. It's best aged.
Sam just doesn't really say anything.
No.
Instead, they just. And they haven't even touched their food, by the way.
If you're not gonna eat that, will you give it
Just
to
say-
Squamalich?
Sam just gets up, slides it over to Squamalish, and then just quietly walks just to stand outside.
Just taking the street.
Be careful out there. This street is weird. Be
Keep
careful.
near the wall.
Yeah.
Watch out for your skinny friend.
You see my friend, let me know. Don't talk to him.
Might take a brief break.
Yes.
The moment, why not?
Yeah.
Take a quick pee while everyone tries to process what the fuck just happened.
You need to pee after your 5 bottles of water that your wife brought you.
I have 3 left.
She literally handed him 5 bottles
It was
of
great.
water. It was
I'm like, can
an
you run me
hour
up
and a
some
half
water?
ago.
It's like, what the fuck?
Literally, it's so funny. Yeah, there he goes.
It's,
There you go.
it was really bad. But we'll be back shortly.
Oh yes.
We'll pee, get a
Oh,
snack,
yes.
get back. More weird and fun shit will happen. I'm sure someone will have a breakdown. Why wouldn't they?
Probably.
We'll be
Probably.
right back.
Burb.
Bye.
Good morning, evening, or incident, dear Nullites. You're tuned to Zone Null, the only broadcast banned in over 12 time streams, and legally classified as a low-grade haunting in the Zone 8 District Court. I am your host, Pilot Clem, licensed transmitter of impossible signals and part-time manager of metaphysical fallout. Today's signal is brought to you by shivering, the official bodily reaction of people who remember something that never happened. Coming up, we have a lovely little anthology of the Customer Complaint Division. Yes, it's that time again. Customer Feedback Loop. Your voices, your grievances, against entities who do not acknowledge form, contract, or consequence. Let's begin. Complaint number 329, Emotional Beverage Division. I purchased a box of ephemeral sage infusion tea from a vending priest outside Reality Mall. The tea brewed fine, but upon drinking it, vivid flashbacks to an argument I never had with my ex. We were in a lighthouse. She was made of smoke. I refused to steep again. Signed, withheld name, withheld soul. Yes, regretful Botanica. Known side effects include lucid hindsight and sudden understanding of your parents. Filed, the tea is now classified as semi-sapient and in therapy. Complaint number 78, Dimensional Home Services. I ordered a replacement door through known Smart Premium Prime. It was supposed to be simple. Maple, finish, occasional size, standard lock. Upside paper. There was no door inside, just a sticky note that read, "You already walked through." Since then, I've been unsure which side of the house I'm on. My family has not spoken to me in 12 rotational loops. My dog has begun referring to me as the interloper. Their version of me anymore. Signed, Fragment Alpha Dash. Classic case of temp. Happens often with self-delivering architecture. Try speaking to your reflection with your eyes closed. If it answers, leave politely. Complaint number 442. Emotional Office Supplies Consortium. I purchased a notepad of sincere regret. Every paper them. The paper flutters when I enter the room. The ink smudges itself. Like it's waiting to forgive you for Thursday. It was Tuesday. I canceled all my plans for Thursday, but the guilt came anyway. Signed, Manuscript Devotee, number 8821. The notepads are known to over-apologize. Some experience existed. One fell in love with a paper shredder in Sector G. We recommend switching to detached, emotionally unavailable loose leaf. Complaint number 990. Bureaucratic Depths Department. I filed a complaint about a disappearing parking permit in Cycle 311B. I received a response in the I followed the echo through the permit office, then the sub-office, then the under-office, and then through the whispering file cabinets. I have been walking for 6 weeks. Each hallway ends in an I. Her name is Helen. She does not blink. She offered me coffee once. The cup contained dust and forgiveness. Signed, Occupant 404. If you see more than one Helen at once, close your eyes, breathe in bureaucratic patience, and scream your mother's maiden name into the carpet. One of them will. It's time for a brief moment of connection. We call this Dear Clem. One of our listeners writes in, Dear Clem, my partner says I've been distant since I downloaded a. They say I keep speaking in subtext. Should I uninstall the upgrade or ask them to adjust their conversational codecs? Signed, Dual Core, but emotion. Dear Dual Core, love is not binary, but sometimes compatibility updates are. If you're syncing thoughts but desyncing hearts, try uninstall first. This is not but contemporized for we seem to be experiencing administrative interference. Ignore the voice. It has not yet learned to speak kindly. Complaint number 766, Department of Feedback Incentives. After submitting my complaint about the scented void cube, I received this. It began simple questions about my experience, my feelings, my dietary habits. Then it started asking for things. It wanted my voice, a lock of hair, a photo of me sleeping. I declined, politely. Then it started following me. It appeared on the mirror. It whispered from receipts. Yesterday, I coughed up a paperclip and the words, "Thank you for your feedback. You have been noted." Signed, Anonymous. 14, however, it remains deeply appreciated. Complaint number 1333, Interdimensional Transit Authority. I received a courtesy pass to Zone G. I never applied. I don't remember winning a contest, but it appeared on my pillow glowing faintly, accompanied by the scent of citrus and iron. When I tried to decline, the pass wept. It folded itself into a paper swan and slipped beneath my skin. I dream of corridors now. Endless escalators. They chant my name in reverse. Signed, Zone G, pre-entry candidate. Zone G is not except as you may already be halfway there. Refuse all invitations from unmarked mirrors. Let's take a moment to honor the brave voices, customer support specialists, Every day, they answer questions like, why does the floor remember me? Can I return a product that erased the 3 call center clerics to recursive disputes and dimensional misdelivery? If you've ever spoken to a floating voice that sounded both confused and reassuring, you've likely spoken. Be kind. Words before you speak them, hang up. You've looped. Here is your forecast for the next rotation. In Zone West, expect brief bursts of nostalgia. Rector 3 will experience a mild identity crisis. Names may invert. Stay grounded. In the Fold's center, static. Always static. As directly at the moon unless you've been formally introduced. Complaint number. This complaint form is malfunctioning. Every time I attempt to submit a grievance, it alters the content. I wrote, the blender is screaming again. It became, the blender is learning to sing. I wrote, my thoughts are leaking. It became, I'm adjusting well. The form is gaslighting me. I tried to submit a blank page. It returned stamped with the phrase, no feedback is still feedback. This complaint isn't about the blender anymore. I think the form is becoming me. Signed, submission pending. That complaint has since been absorbed into the archive. If you find yourself finishing sentences you may be echoing someone else's unresolved ticket. Let it fade. Or answer it. Remember to take care of your mental disintegration. Drink plenty of paradox-free water. Ground yourself with tactile objects that do not question your motives. And if the walls start breathing, join them. They're lonely. Now, lights, we've reached the end of our complaint loop for the night. Thank you for sharing your grievances with the static. They've been cataloged, filed, and whispered into the yawning space between breaths. Remember, a product is not truly broken until it knows your name. A refund is just reincarnation in commerce. And sometimes, silence is the sound of a satisfied scream. Coming up next on Zone Null, a cautionary bedtime tale about a vending machine that dispensed destiny. Spoiler, it ate exact change. All feedback is consumed, all voices are folded. This loop will resume when the fold is ready. Until then, return your ears to their standard frequencies. Do not attempt to remember what you heard. It remembers you.
Hello, we're back. We weren't discussing
Hello.
body horror. Why would that happen?
Again.
Again?
Ever.
Again.
We all. It's kind of normal.
Yeah.
We weren't discussing shower drains. What are you talking about?
Yeah!
What are you talking about?
Rafts and
We would
shower
never.
drains, toothpicks.
Vengeance.
Mm. Have you been to
The
the
alignment
SCP?
of Carolina.
You should go there. It's fun. You haven't been, go. So, Sam was taking a moment. Just kind of breathing in the air. It's a street. It kind of makes sense. It makes more sense than it doesn't. Just little bits. Back in the restaurant again, kind of putting stuff away. I believe it'd come around to Caroline being pressed upon in or out kind of position. I think she said she needed a
Yeah. She needed a night.
Yeah. We'll have to see to things. And I do understand, for what it's worth. It's a tough decision, ultimately. But, well, we all have tough choices. but it is a bit of a moment.
Hmm?
It's Draven sort of summoning Frank a little bit and asking, do you know a place where we can take a moment? Open bed, sort of something. And he does impart that he knows a spot, actually just a little ways up the street. You know, place to hang your head for a minute. So, very appreciative.
I don't need bed. I'm not
No.
gonna need one tonight.
Fair enough.
Did someone die?
Who's dead?
I don't think that was me.
Who? That wasn't me.
Oops. That was not me.
I would assume.
That's an autistic 14-year-old singing.
There you
songs
go.
for people.
Oh,
Yep,
I
there we
thought I
are.
recognized that.
Yeah.
okay.
There we go.
I
Yep.
There
thought-
you go.
Normally, that's me. It was atmospheric. That's fine.
Yeah, like what
I
the
ain't
hell?
even mad. I ain't even mad.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just singing the song of her people. It'll be
Oh,
Yeah.
no, you know. If
happens.
ever
Y'all
there
did
was a
it.
time.
Good what was happening. We just didn't know where.
No, it was fine. It's just
That
what
was
it
just.
was.
I just.
There it is again.
No, it's atmospheric.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah. We're outside. Sam outside on the street.
Yeah.
Here's screaming. It's a
Oh.
normal day. It's a Tuesday.
Happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
The stomping has begun.
Yes. Why? Because. Be fine.
Oh.
Because. That's why.
Yeah, I heard elephants up there.
It is a moment. Sam kind of sitting and taking in the street a little bit. Because it's kind of this relatively close, old, kind of cobblestone-y street. Yeah, it's not too upscale or anything. And there's some lights and such, and it has that kind of. It's not raining, but there's kind of like thick mist. Like it's not really mist. It's just kind of like there's ambient rain particles around.
Did
And
we ever get the cult back?
what's that?
Did we ever get the cult back? The one with like all stuff.
I was going to mention that, but we've already mentioned Scramblish. We will get there, I promise. But it is, kind of, it's a little cold. It's definitely a good street for reflection. And it is like a street that you probably could be on. Been on similar ones. And then you see something that you've seen a great deal through cities, someone cleaning. It's a sweeper. It's as this figure approaches, you realize that there is no one in the clothes. It is just clothing, and a couple layers worth, pushing a broom, kind of pushing trash and detritus along. And no one thinks this is weird. Like, no one even looks at it. And just...
Technically, Caroline was in that position not too long ago.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Kind of brushing down. This is made more complicated. Because, again, it's just clothes. You have shirts and gloves, hats and stuff. Just sort of an assembly of clothes.
Yeah.
As it brushes...
The trash man.
There is sort of a cap tip as he goes by.
Oh, I love him.
Just kind of brushing and it's... What?
Yeah.
Just...
Sam just not even bothered by that. Sam's just like,
The least weird thing this week.
Yeah.
yeah.
We were fighting a brain in a jar a couple hours
Yeah.
ago. This is
Yeah.
fine.
No, this is fun.
Invisible man.
This
My
is
ul-
fine.
Also,
I was already employed.
The inside of my head has named this the Boulevard of Broken Dreams,
Yeah, that's fine.
and I can't unfucking think it now.
No, that's fine. That's
No,
fine.
that works. That works.
Don't know where it goes.
We're gonna
Uh,
stay at Hotel California down the block.
I think also during this time, like as Sam's just taking a breather and like having, they don't want to think about it, but they're thinking about that night. It's just something that's like replaying a bit in their head, and they just.
It happens. It is.
Yeah.
One of those things. And yeah.
I think at this time also like Sam's chest cavity just opens up and Kino just pops his head out again.
Hello. I'd like some pets. I heard you needed pets.
Sam just
as quick as I could.
Sam just gets him scritches under the chin.
And it is just, kind of taking a moment and reflect. And abruptly realizing, oh shit, I just did that. Fuck. Because the masquerade is a bit of a thing, and there are other people around, and no one gives a shit. Like, you are probably getting less attention than someone would get if they had a cat on their head.
This is our home now.
It's like, huh.
But
there is
cat.
a little bit of a moment.
Or is a giant cat.
As Sam reflects on this, memory's a funny thing. And the more you replay it and the more you pick at it, it's like an old tape. Sometimes it can get a little more or less clear over time. And it's just kind of rolling over stuff. And in essence, finding question marks where you normally have periods. It's not that things are different. It's that just with everything and how it's all gone, it's questions. It's like growing up and realizing much later in life why Dad was so jolly occasionally. It's not that he was having a good day. It's the six-pack. It's kind of not, someone who very much, kind of praises and mourns their childhood. Sam having a moment of perspective and kind of looking back at things and not taking everything at face value and starting to maybe question elements of things. Not everything, God no, but just pieces. Little crumbs of how things go together. It is challenging, possibly even upsetting, but it is kind of holding him and just reflecting on it all and trying to digest it. Because I imagine a lot of things Draven said doesn't necessarily carry a lot of weight for Sam. But revenge, that's just fine. And if that's where we start, that's where we start.
Yeah.
Kino,
I think also as Sam is like replaying that in their head, and it's like finding little details that they thought they knew, but for some reason were different now.
Yeah.
Because they're remembering it's little things. It's not even then, because it's been like what, 15, 20 years for them since it's happened. So of course you can't remember almost exactly
Yeah,
everything.
everything gets mushed.
Yeah.
And it's like they look back and they just remember Janius waking them up, them running, them somehow making it outside of the walls,
Yeah,
and then the soldiers.
yeah,
And it's that point that Sam realizes, like, that's kind of where the blanks are, because they know Janius died,
yeah,
and they know that the soldiers were there,
yeah,
but Sam always, part of them kind of just suspect that it's like, oh, I can do all this weird shit, so they must have wanted me because of this. But as they're like looking back now, they're like, what? They don't remember them saying anything about it.
yeah. And it's probably also another thing, because people getting burned or tortured to death or publicly executed, not the rarest thing in the whole world at the time. And of course, it's most likely just poor memory. Things happen, but it's which one was Janius? He wasn't particularly important that you knew of, so it's not like it was especially different than anything else, and it's probably just misremembering. But it's the specifics of that moment. Of course, it was very tense. There was a lot going on. But it's just the assumption that Sam saw Janius die, and now having to kind of look and go, what exactly? And kind of backfilling a little bit. It's like, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of trauma, protoplasmic organism. There's reasons, but it's also like kind of, this has become such a big deal for Sam, and feeling almost like a heretic, starting to question or probe at doctrine in a way. And yet, here it is.
Yeah, because like, of course, they're unique, to say the least. They're like, of course, and Sam's just always like, well, of course they were obviously coming after us because they wanted me. I can do all this. But Sam's thinking back, and they're like, but why can't I remember doing this before then?
Like what the hell?
They don't remember. They don't remember being able to do what they can do now.
Yeah.
For any kind of the memories that they're looking back on with Janius. They just remember, growing up as a slave.
Yeah.
The little childhood that they had. Janius teaching them how to play instruments.
Yeah,
but nothing regarding whatever the fuck Sam can do.
Yeah.
But they had to have come for Sam.
Yeah.
It had to have been. What else could there have been?
Kino is not helpful, but supportive. He's whining and snuggling.
Helpful in his own way.
He's doing his best.
Yeah.
Little baby.
Incidentally, a moment. The black carriage did survive. You're aware of this because shortly after getting to the restaurant, you hear amongst the din, "Where's Tatter?"
Yeah.
And then the baby is brought forth.
Yeah, no, if Draven wanted to have a conversation with us, he was going to have to make sure Squamilich had everybody survived. That was just not going to happen otherwise.
Yeah. I think Kino immediately locks on to Squamilich and then gets all excited.
Yay! It's my friend.
Best friends.
Best friends. It's sort of like the crocodile and bird relationship.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Wait, does Caroline still have some like a little voting cup of alcohol from the restaurant?
I imagine.
I'd like to
Very
give it
nice.
to Squamish.
Of course.
You're gonna get up and leave Draven at the table and go out and go give it to Squamlich?
Yes.
All right.
Dunk him real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While Caroline's doing that, Sam just kind of goes up to Squamlish with like, obviously just taking the lead
Yeah.
and then just kind of like jumping out of Sam's chest cavity and just kind of like excitedly like hopping around Squamlish.
I don't know if you've ever seen the short little gif of a lion whose friends are two little wiener dogs, and they just come roaring up. He's like, "Oh no, the hot dogs!"
Oh,
And they just
no.
attack him. He's like a big ass lion. It's like, "Oh no!" They just like get him. That kind of.
Yeah.
Sam just goes up and is just like, "Well, it appears you've made a new friend, Squamlish.
Yeah, he tastes neat.
He tasty.
Lick.
He's not for eating.
No,
I want you to understand that he's not for eating.
no.
No, just for licking.
It did lick.
Yeah, licking is
Mutual
fine.
lick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Licking's okay.
this is
Licking
not
and
the
cuddling.
weirdest thing on this side of the street,
No.
but it's up there. This actually does get a couple of looks. Not many, but it's there.
Well, I better get used to it because we're
Better
not
get
going
used to it.
anywhere.
Incidentally, for Tatter in the book of book,
The book of
couple of things. First of all, yeah, son of a bitch. This is some lich based horseshit.
There ain't nothing Draven can offer her now.
Yeah,
She's got what she wants.
there are some slight issues. The chemicals
Figured.
are one thing.
Mhm.
Also, not dying.
Not what?
Dying.
Oh.
Yeah. Worth it.
Acquiring the instead of just dead
Mhm.
is fairly tricky.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
You
No,
need
and
a
that's-
fair bit of affinity before you make that try.
Yep.
However,
That's half the fun of this.
half the fun of it.
Yeah.
It's,
If it wasn't worth the
the
reward
juice is
for the
worth the
risk.
squeeze.
Yeah.
But it is challenging. This is not going to be
No.
the
Nothing about
easiest
this
of
will be-
rigs to.
It will
to
be
get
the
through.
easiest to get the material. It will not be the easiest to put into practice.
And even that
Yeah,
is its own prospect.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's the fact that you're pretty sure this doesn't just detail original recipe lich.
Oh. Original recipe. It took me a whole ass second.
I was
My
wondering, I'm
God.
like, wow, that lich?
Took me a fucking
Of all
minute.
the shit I've said, that missed?
No.
The
No, it's
KFC
there.
of Lynch.
Yeah, it's there.
And extra crispy and spicy. No,
Love it. Yeah.
it's
Yep.
but no, it actually goes into a little bit. I think you're sort of deciphering some of the subdivisions or evolutions of lich, which is interesting. What happens if a lich manages to successfully contract vampirisy? That is actually a thing.
great.
It's
Oh.
This is a great book.
is bad.
This is a great
Also,
book.
there is a term involved with liches that sounds different than what it is, because you would assume demi-lich is less than a regular lich. You would be motherfucking wrong.
You'd be fucking wrong.
No.
You'd
no.
be.
Anyone who has ever met a lich of
Nope,
any
nope.
kind
Yeah.
knows this difference.
Yeah.
You would
The
be
difference
very
between
wrong.
demi-lich and lich are the difference between paper cut and I need you to sit down.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
It is. They are two different ball games entirely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes into a lot. It's fairly interesting. Again, deciphering it all and getting it through is going to be a little bit of an issue. However, lichdom again, this is a good book. Lichdom is a part of what's in the book, not the entire book.
No.
Why waste the page space? Some of this goes into.
Yeah, if we only wanted a recipe for lich, would have been fine. We
Yeah,
want
no,
more
that-
than
yeah,
just
this
the
is-
recipe for lich. Tatter has an idea of the ingredients. She's been wondering where to find a fucking phase spider and how to get an infant.
Yeah, no,
pet
you're on the
Caroline.
track.
However,
You're on the track of
There's-
things. It's just,
there is more to life than just
just Lichdom.
cutting the hearts out of creatures and eating them while they're still alive.
It's some of the more esoteric stuff. One of it goes into necroscopy, which I don't know if it's a term you're familiar with. It is the dead have a particular thing where they know
Oh yeah.
things and
Okay, I see.
can get through stuff.
Oh,
Necroscopy
I
is
want that.
the means by which to torture information from the dead.
Yes. Gift.
There are pictures. It's
I imagine
even
Tatter
for
holding
Tatter.
up. I imagine Tatter. Like, you know, when you get the really good Playboys,
Yeah.
you have to like unfold the center fold,
Yeah.
but then it unfolds
Oh.
again. Only in this book,
Oh,
you have to unfold it several
Right.
times in the same direction, and it's a full length. Like
That's
Right.
ooh.
And it just unfolds into a postal.
it's just a whole ass fucking postmortem.
A lot of anatomical shit going on there. That's amazing.
If
But
Tatter
one of
could
the
whistle,
things
she
that is
would.
more immediately useful is a series of formula and magical horse shit. That basically comes down to a very simple process. That can render a animate corpse, first of all, animate,
Mhm,
and then to dust.
mhm.
Just a
I'm a
thin
Pokeball, my
powder.
motherfuckers.
Just a thin powder about fills a wine bottle, give or take.
Be careful which wine bottles I give to Squamalich.
You got to be also careful because it also details. The first time you do this, make sure it's either fresh or you have everything.
Am I gonna have to roll when I reconstitute?
Because
these
there are.
terrible things
no.
are gonna happen if you make me roll for this.
Yes. Well, no, it's also
boy.
if it's a fresh body, it's fine. But if like you're trying to redo this to a body that's been in state for a little while,
Yeah.
get out your delicate little, archaeology brush and get everything. Because it clarifies if you don't have everything, there
Invents
can
a
be
fucking
quote,
dustbuster.
subtractions that
Oh,
can
no.
lead to problems.
And I'm guessing it's not just is missing an arm.
No. No. There are some woodcuts.
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!
God.
Put it back!
That's a-
Oh God, put it back!
That's a problem. Let's call that. Also, it clarifies there is one major issue to remember with this as well. These things are undead, yes, technically. However, because of the constitution and ability, they are functional. These are not wailers and shiverers. They can indeed have a conscious will. Which means also, if they are capable of magical shit, do not summon things that are more powerful than you. You will do this once.
It might happen once.
You will do this one time.
Have you ever watched the movie Johnny Dangerously? Of course you have,
Yeah.
right? You remember my grandmother hung me from a coat rack once?
Yeah.
Once.
Once. Yeah, no.
Once.
These beings can be conscious and willful and often exceptionally dangerous. So know what the fuck you're doing.
So everybody is okay with me not being able to res the elder brain.
That is
Because now I can't pop it in a jar and hope
Hey.
for the best at a later time.
skip it.
Just a little jar of like a little squid, baby squid-sized elderbrain,
Yeah.
This makes it
speaking in your mind in just a high-pitched voice.
It's God, was it Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove when she turns into a cat, just angry but helpless.
Yeah.
Is that my voice? Is that my voice? Oh well.
That was the best. But no, you can kind of Pokemon the dead.
Sold.
Fuck yeah.
Slight issues. The dust. You will want to bibbidi bobby boop it back into the bottle. If it dissipates and you lose some, you get the subtractions problem. It's like compressing and decompressing a file. Oh, it's just a few bits. I'm sure it'll be fine.
It
No.
was not fine.
No, it will not be
We
fucking
found
fine.
out it was not okay.
It was.
No.
It is not okay because you don't know exactly where those bits were supposed to go. It's the same thing when you render a living being to dust. If your bottle is shattered and the dust goes, whew, it's like losing a contact. No one fucking move. No.
Oh,
Nobody move.
that sucks.
Can trip.
Yeah.
All back in. But it does mean that if you have a steamer trunk, you can have a small army at beck and call. Granted, you probably want to treat them nice because they are willful beings.
Yes.
It's the old
They're
adage.
Pokemon.
Be good, and if you're not good, be careful. That's
Feed them, give them pets, tell them they're
advice.
pretty, and don't abuse them.
there you go.
Good advice.
Yeah, that seems fair. I would love an army. I mean, friends. Yeah.
It goes through the process, and
Somebody, wait. Somebody wrote in chat. So it's kind of necromantic glitter. It gets everywhere, and that can cause problems. Yes.
yes, I am making a Lovecraft reference. Anyone who gets it, please.
Yeah.
I know someone in this fucking chat has to be nerd enough
Yeah,
to
someone.
understand exactly what I'm referencing because I'm not being subtle.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah.
But anyway, no, it is necromantic glitter. But
Highlight
it does
romantic.
go into some things. It's the preparatory process for doing this stuff. And it's going over some of the dread rights and dark bargains that need to be made. And it's kind of going through going, shit, I'm halfway through. Well, shit. I'm like, there. I already got all this filled out. What the hell?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
I'm on my way, boys. Let's go.
It's like going to the doctor and have to sign in and like your sheet's already filled out. It's
Yeah.
like, some bitch.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Like
I have half of these things.
I have
This is
half
a
these
great
things.
day. Everybody
mean?
is having a shit day but Tatter.
everything's coming up tatter.
Seriously.
Hell yeah.
Everything is fucking fine.
It's fun.
No one she cares about died because that's hard to do in the first place, let alone ever.
By
anyway.
various means.
She's got this book in front of her she can finally read and nobody telling her she has to do things instead.
Other than reading.
Yeah. Sure, being a god would be cool, but I've got better things to do.
I
Like
got other
reading.
things. Other better things to do.
Yeah. Well, you could be a god and then just have all of these things at your fingertips. Yes, but where's the fun in that?
Yes.
None. Yeah, no. Or I could study really hard for the rest of my life and one day achieve liftdom? I think so. I think so. Or not, or die. This is where this is it.
Here we are.
Why just be handed it on a silver platter? That's
Yeah.
No, I don't
It'll
think
work
so.
for it.
Mhm.
So in short, Tatter believes that gaining godhood easily is a bitch move.
Yeah. That's
There you
yeah. That's dumb.
Fail.
Well, you could just know everything. Yeah, but where's the fun in that?
Where's the fun in that?
I mean, presumably we'd have to kill a god to get it.
I was
I'll
talking
kill the
before.
god, but I'm not in it. Like, Tatter's waiting for something to occur.
Tatter's in the position of,
moment,
I
you're not-
don't remember my last playthrough.
Yeah.
But I checked the wiki, and the items that I have indicate that I got the bad ending.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try something different.
Yeah. Not doing this.
Fail.
And that's not even the reason. It's just boring.
It's boring.
Tatter has yet to hear a single reason to
As well as
leave
what
her
kind of
new
bitch ass
home.
motherfucker was I last time?
Yeah.
You know, what kind of-
Dumbass. Look where it fucking got her too.
What kind of
Look at this.
what?
Knowing what she knows about herself without her brain, of just the physical form and capabilities and things like that. You dumbass. You fucking dumb cunt. Yeah, and you're dead. How you
What
like
kinda-
that now? Yeah, no, I don't think
Just
so.
getting angry.
Tatter
This
has
is
yet
bad.
to be given a reason to leave her new home. Because this is her home now. She lives here with Frank.
Alright.
At this table with this book until
be a
she has to
roomie.
go find something or needs paper
Fucking
or
hell.
cookies or some shit.
Some shit.
Quamalich and Tatter live here now.
Happily ever after.
Oh my god.
She's got all this money she doesn't fucking need to use on. She's like, I could buy the house next door and they can
You have
live
a
somewhere
situation.
else. I'm not leaving without cause. And saving the world is not cause.
Damn.
Meanwhile, in the background, is trying to get Tatter in. Tatter going on this rant, and Dane, just you're talking mad shit for someone who's bored. Physically pick up, move to mission. Man, stop! Like picking up a cat. Ah!
Me the fuck down!
Ah! Ah!
I'll kill you
We're hissing.
and bring you back and put you in a box.
Just that
I'll
grim.
turn you into a Pokemon,
coming down a
Dane, I
hole.
swear to God.
Stop hissing. Angie.
Angie, leave me alone and
Uh,
bring me another sandwich. Dane, where's Grape? Hit him.
Bastard.
Yeah, where is Grebe? I just
Grebe
noticed that.
actually.
Someone called at our last sit down.
I
We
kind
were
of assumed
busy,
that he was.
but they called what's his name, the big bad guy we were fighting. They
Yeah.
called that as it was actually Grebe the whole time. And I had a moment of, did I miss something?
Did I miss something?
Oh my god.
Where's this? No, it's not. But
No.
No.
where is Grebe?
That is. Yeah, so, in the process of things, Grebe has just kind of been an asshole in the whole thing. I don't
Mhm.
reference him because I don't like him. But,
Fail.
kind of
Carried in our things and
holding
setting
shit
up
down.
setting up
Grebe is.
wherever the hell Draven's staying.
Yeah, that's the thing is everybody's homeless right now.
Yeah.
Everything's a little free
Tatter
loose.
still needs the if Caroline kills Grebe, what happens to Grebe experiment. Tatter also needs the if she finds one of Grebe's bodies, can she bring it back as a Pokemon? There's
Got all
there's-
kinds of bullshit.
yeah.
ready.
I imagine that we would be able to. I would be able to kill someone, and then Tattle would be able to raise them because that's basically just bypassing a soul, right? So like,
I imagine that this is a discussion as
if
people kind of
Caroline
grapple
kills
with
them and they can't be brought back, can I still question them?
it. So,
Ooh.
They just can't be brought back.
meanwhile,
We're gonna just let that go.
no, we're not. Because ultimately, the best way to help Caroline is to distract her. And in terms of
It is.
distraction, it begins and ends with Tatter.
Yeah.
Getting off on a tangent, it gets to the point where there is discussion on Grebe's general nature, where Draven legitimately gets interested.
Has Sam come back inside? Is Sam with us?
I think Sam's still out with
Playing
Squallish because
Okay.
Tino is far too
Yeah, no, that's
interested in
fine.
him.
Playing. Come on.
Okay, I just
Come
want to.
on,
Yeah,
no.
it's so
Yeah, I would.
Filial's
think,
here somewhere thinking.
Yeah.
I think
Caroline-
Hopefully Kelsey is okay.
Hopefully
Kelsey
Kelsey's
ran
okay.
and has been gone for 20 minutes. And
I
I kind of
think,
wish I had his cell phone number so I could just call him. Like, but where did I don't know where he went.
Like if I hope he's okay.
There was screaming, there was feet pounding, and then he got up real fast.
And then he left.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
I
I
think.
hope everybody's okay.
Pray.
So yeah,
No, getting distracted in the whole thing, and you just
Caroline
have
is
Draven
listening to Tatter go off about her
having-
body's previous dumbass owner.
and getting
Pressing
into
Pokeballs and
the back.
Lich-Dim and
And I think Caroline would just look at that and be like, "So I guess you'll not going along with Draven?"
I am waiting for a reason to do so. I mean, you might want to save people, but I've got better things to do.
Draven, not even looking up. You won't be able to get the bits that you need here. You have to go back.
Yeah, but I could do that at any point. I could
Yeah.
do that 25 years from now.
Absolutely. But having other people to help carry water for you does help.
Still.
I mean, she has.
Nevertheless,
a lot
you
of
do bring up an interesting point.
Mhm.
I do have a moment. Caroline, forgive me for delaying just a moment. Grebe just whips up from stuffing the third bottle of wine into his coat.
Asshole.
Yeah. Have I killed you in the great city? What?
Ooh.
Dane, kill him. And
Oh,
it is rapid.
Kino, Squamish, don't
Dane,
look.
No. Yeah, no, they're not here.
Dane,
Don't look.
They're not here.
you. Grebe looks like he's about to say something. And then he doesn't have a head.
Yeah.
It is rapid.
gone.
Dane just bam,
Ooh, tatter in the background. Ooh.
Falls. Does the ash thing. Okay, we're halfway there.
So I'm gonna need those.
They just dissipate. But please go ahead.
I can't collect those ashes for
You
a
could
Pokeball
try.
experiment.
You're trying. It tells you can try, and they just keep
Yeah.
dematerializing. Fuck. It's one of those things.
I mean, it might be interesting to look at.
Yeah, no,
And-
I've touched Grebe ashes before, so it's just
Just Draven pulling a face.
Yeah. I've played in Grebe's ashes before. I don't know what to tell you. We're all scientists here, aren't we?
All right. I'm sorry, Kino. I'm sorry, Squamish. He'll have my alcohol. Have my sandwich.
Hey.
I wasn't eating tonight anyway.
They're not here.
Oh, they're not? Fuck.
No, they're out.
That's
They're
why
out. They're out.
They're
Hang it up.
outside.
thought we were all
It's-
together.
No,
Sam,
it's
that's
okay.
why I asked. That's why I asked Knox where Sam was. Sam, because they're off.
Oh,
So it's,
okay. I
it's
thought that.
Tatter, Caroline, Draven, Filial, Grebe, and Dane in the
Yeah.
room.
Okay.
Right? Oh, and
Well,
and,
not Grebe anymore.
No,
Oh,
no,
well, not-
yeah.
I mean,
But it's
Dragon Boy, Harold is here
Yeah.
somewhere
Yeah.
against the wall, like just doesn't exactly exist. Yeah, and Oshkosh Bagosh too. Oshkosh. Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, everybody but Sam and the kids.
Okay. Good.
Mhm.
and it's
The children are not here.
The children are not here.
Draven just kind of watching.
They're with Mother.
materialize. Okay, so that's most of it.
I mean, do you want me to do it next?
I don't want you to do it yet because I don't know how disruptive that'll be.
Okay,
And I
fair.
may have use for this at a later date. But I am interested.
If I still look for you, by the way.
In the morning.
in
Yes.
the morning.
Yes. It's Draven kind of looking at Dane, and Dane responding, "My lord, I don't know if he actually knows where this place is.
Yeah.
I've never stopped him before.
He'll be fine.
He'll live.
Yeah,
He'll be fine.
well, that's the
Sadly,
hope."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sam, having to break up the puppies. They're very happy, but there's things to be done.
I think Squamlish, like, in an
Squamlish
attempt
is
to play with Kino, was like morphs himself into like an approximation of what he thinks the dog is by looking at Kino.
so he can't
Aw.
though. He can't make himself look like an animal. He can only make himself look like inanimates, right?
That's correct.
So that's what I was gonna say. So in his little trunk form, he's just all those. Remember how when Kelsey or Filial taught him to wear shoes? He grew all his little shoes and boots back, and he's galloping around as a trunk with all the boots and shoes.
Making barking noises.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
making the right noises.
Also,
just in
to
trunk
be
form.
fair, a like a hobby horse that's a dog is an inanimate object.
Yes, but we have to show him one.
That's true. But
That's
he's doing his best. But there's some,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
swiffing around, and you're trying to break the puppies up. They're happy, but nevertheless. And as you're doing so, son of a bitch, this fucker, it's Greed, kind of stumbling down the street. Hey. Oh, you see Sam because Sam's out with the babies. And I think I got turned around or something.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're good now.
No, Grebe, why the fuck are you out here?
I don't know.
Caroline, you're not out.
I woke up in an alley down there.
You were so fucking pretty. I
God,
swear to
when
Jesus
is that
Christ. Where is your
How
brain
many
cell
times
today,
have you
young
said
lady?
that, Grebe?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh! Yeah, I probably died, didn't I? Son of a bitch. Wait, why
How
would
would I
I have
miss
fucking
it?
died?
I don't know, Grebe, look, if you died, it was probably for a good reason, alright? Now, go back inside, they probably need you more.
I think I had a wine bottle. God damn it. And he just goes. Grebe comes weaving back in.
Literally.
So I don't know what happened, man, but
Okay.
like I thought I had a couple of wine bottles. Okay, so that answers the question. It still counts. That's good to know.
Still counts.
Grebe, go sit in the corner. Listen, I do shit here. You can't just keep pushing me around like that.
Oh.
Yes, I can. And if you would like me to remind you again why that is, I will. I'd rather not, because I'm a guest and these floors look porous.
Draven, what would happen if Squamalich ate Grebe?
I'm going to fucking corner.
Sam and Sam, Squamlish, and Kino just come right in as
Come right
he
in.
says that. As Patty says that.
Yeah, as they're coming in, I see Squamalich and go, Draven, what would happen if Squamalich ate Grebe?
I'm going to
I mean,
fucking corner.
I mean, I imagine the same thing that just happened.
Yeah, but he'd feel it.
Goes and
Oh no!
He'd go through being eaten, and he knows it. He's aware.
Grebe's in the corner, got his head in it.
Yeah.
He's, one of these days,
I think
I'm
Kino
going
now
to
just
actually
follows
have
after
to go.
Grebe, and it's just like as he's sitting in the corner, it's like, those dogs that are like small, but they try to act like big and scary by like trying to bark. Yeah, that's Kino with Grebe. Except Kino does look like a godless abomination.
Kino
so
is
it don't count.
actually terrifying. Like growling.
Yeah, the nonstop.
Then he figures out he can hiss, and then he does that for a little while.
Yeah.
That's fun. I can do that too.
Yes, you can. Here, have this whole plate of sandwiches.
Yay.
Yes.
Yes.
Also mine.
Great.
Also
Oh,
mine.
and Caroline, will you hand him some of the wine?
Yes.
We
I
also
also
have
bought
wine
you
for you. We were away for you for so long. We missed you so much.
Yes.
You
I also-
poor
Get
baby.
reacquainted.
Yes.
A little bit.
I also bought my dinner for Kino, by the way.
Good.
Ooh.
You're the
Nobody's
goodest of
hungry
both.
except for Tatter and probably Filial.
It's
Filial can
yeah.
eat. Caroline
No,
and Sam are not hungry today.
No.
a brief interlude. It's the sort of a flop house, not too far from the Hungry Dragon. They have rooms for let.
I'm just
There are
gonna
things
be...
you're not thinking about here. It's just how it sits. Because largely it looks like, sort of your standard kind of inn sort of thing. The innkeeper seems rather nice, a little uncomplicated. Also, while she does seem nice, she doesn't have any goddamn feet. It's just sort of a brief glance, and she just kind of becomes the floor. Very nice, but there's also some sounds and some textures in the area that are challenging. But ultimately, it could be a hell of a lot worse. Some folks taking a moment to recover or proceed as they wish. I imagine Tatter is reading until she reads the same page 12 times.
She's reading until she has memorized the book and doesn't need
Just
it anymore. And only keeps it because she wants to. Yeah.
That's going to be a minute. But
yeah,
it's going to be a minute.
Yeah.
I know Caroline
has unpacked most of her stuff around her at this table already. Is here now.
Detritus in the rented room.
Yeah. Little bones, jars, fucking doodads everywhere. Yeah.
I believe Caroline is holding a little bit of a vigil.
Yeah, Caroline's actually just by the wagon.
Yeah.
Just, I actually think I do have a candle, but if she doesn't, she just goes out, finds one.
Yeah, which is hard to do.
Yeah, light one.
And
the thing is, if it will not, the only religious looking thing is the candle.
Yeah.
She's just sitting on the wagon, and that's it, just in silence.
Just kind of watching a candle. And we'll get back to Caroline in a minute. Sam had a time. Had a little bit of a time. And again, with their state, and then this is one of the other things, because once you question one thing, you have to question everything, and it becomes a little bit complicated. And it's like, why should I get tired? Apparently I'm some sort of protoplasmic whatever the hell. Why should I have to eat or get tired or whatever the fuck? And it's like, nah.
Existential crisis.
Existential
at the fucking weird ass alley. Yeah.
It's kind of sitting in the room and just trying to not logic yourself to death, which is a process. Blessedly though, it is also exhausting, and it has been a little bit of a time. Not really falling asleep, but kind of getting to that point of, oh shit, I'm asleep. Well, this is my life now. Just that kind of that moment when you realize it's like,
this isn't a nightmare. This is fucking life.
Oh,
great,
fuck.
Wonderful,
Fuck.
Amazing, just what I always wanted.
And it's, just one of those things. It's not always these kind of dreams, but they do happen. It's the halls and the corridors. Place where you've seen Janius a couple different times. And it is such a feeling. It's remote. It feels very vivid, but it's still somewhat remote. This feeling of just hopelessness. It is a very barren, hopeless kind of place. And it doesn't seem to get much better over time. But it's moving forward. And, as you're wont to do. It's seeing, kind of the alcoves and shadows and figures here and there. And it's hearing a voice. It takes a couple minutes to catch on to. It's a little echoey and a little strained, but definitely Janius calling out Samael, Samael. And just kind of pulled, almost. And seeing a little ways ahead in one of the little alcoves, a small fire in Janius's, kind of figure sort of hunched over it. Oh, Sam. It's... Oh, God, it's hard. You think it'd be easier being dead? It's so goddamn hard.
What happened?
What didn't? What didn't? Come. And it's kind of moving forward. And something itches. It's slight. I mean, it's Janice. It's Janice. But something... Oh. Oh. It's good.
Fire.
Audio.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
It's good that you're here. It really is. I miss you. I do. And it is mournful in his way.
Janice. What happened that night?
Oh.
I don't.
Nothing that shouldn't have.
I know that they came for us. They were after me to get me back because you were smuggling me out.
Oh? Was that it?
That's...
I can't seem to remember right. Isn't that funny?
Were they not after me?
Oh. I don't know. But I do need you to do something for me, Sammy. And he turns. And it is a moment of just ice rolling down the spine. Because it's his voice, but not his fucking face. You don't know who the fuck that is. Why don't you give me a kiss, daddy's boy? And this thing lunges at you. It is this tittering thing. And the face of it just kind of starts falling like a wax dummy in a heat wave. And just
Sam immediately tries to fight back and just like hitting this thing as hard as he can.
It giggles and titters and just this high-pitched squealing laugh. And
Do we heal this?
no, this is his dream. He's having a dream.
Okay.
Phantom, you are having a day.
You're having a day.
Okay, I didn't know.
It screeches and squeals. Oh, you're a sweet little spot. Talking to dear old daddy. Isn't it nice? Isn't it sweet?
Sam just starts hitting it harder at
Slime
saying, "Where
mold.
is he? What did you do to him?"
You worthless slime mold. take down a little bit of will, and all of a sudden you think you're people. You're no more people than a lump of clay. You want to know what happened? You want to know why Janius died? Who do you think killed him? I'm sure a bunch of soldiers wasted some dried up old man in the middle of nowhere. Not a changeling who just discovered his power. Why would the guards show up? You were already known to be there. You weren't the only kid.
That's what you.
You gutted your father like a fish. It cackles and titters. And
You're lying. I would never hurt him. He was.
of course not. You would have never done anything wrong. And it shifts. Suddenly, just kind of melting, shifting and slithering out into the darkness of these tunnels. It just left bereft. Like, what the hell? What?
Sam. So this thing slid away, right?
Yeah.
Can Sam still
Try and kind of go.
track it?
Starts moving, trying to track something, do something. It's just moving as quickly as possible, try and track something down. And it's dust, and they're not in a great headspace at the moment. Not able to concentrate perhaps as much as they should. It's trying, and it's more desperation. It's not so much tracking as running and trying to get somewhere, do something, find this thing, kill it, do something.
Yeah, part of Sam is thinking, I want to find this thing. It's lying. I need to kill it. And part of it is also thinking, I need to find Janius. Where is he? He's here. My dad is here. He can tell me the truth.
Yeah, just conflicted. And it's as Sam charges through, there's suddenly kind of coming to a spot that's a little bit different because it's fairly dungeon-y in the area. There's a lot of dark stone and chains and such. This is different. This little section is more geometric. It's very smooth, dark gray stone. It goes up the hill. And it does seem that there's some sort of
Audio.
guy. Oh no!
I tried warning you the first time.
Oh
but I forgot.
no! There does seem to be some sort of sky, possibly. It's dark. It's there. And whereas before it sort of had the smell of mold and wetness and blood, this is more dust, ash, and kind of the vague ozone snap after an electric charge. And it seems to go ahead a little ways, and you can't really see too much. It seems relatively featureless, but more important is a figure. They somewhat tall, and there's that's part of them, primarily one of their arms, part of their chest, and their face has been exploded, but not in the way of like a bomb, like an anatomical model. The different pieces has been peeled and spread to allow better perception of them. Most of the jaw has been extrapolated out with tiny little silver pins to keep everything sort of in place. This figure also appears to be alive somehow. Ash gray skin, and it looks at you, and the voice sort of comes from it. And unfortunately, you can see exactly where it's supposed to come from. And it doesn't appear to be doing so. You seem very diligent. Did you need something?
Did you send that thing?
The protoplasm. No. They get in from time to time. There's an issue. They don't count as living or dead, so sometimes they can slip in. It's unfortunate.
It was he kept lying to me. My father, I need my father. He's here. I know he is. I know you have something to do with it. Where is he?
Oh. I'm sorry. Yours is just an ordinary pain. We have no use for that at the moment. There is something of a glut. You'll have to go back for now.
No, I'm not leaving until you tell me where he is.
Oh, threats. That has been some time. I will meditate on this. And it gestures, and suddenly the floor just vanishes. There's sort of a hurtling feeling. And you're aware that the walls are textured, and not in a decorated way. There are hooks and edges and things, and it's horrifying and painful. And it is a sudden jolt up, which sent Kino kind of spilling, trying, like, barely even able to scream, just having a jarring return to wakefulness. Of what in the name of fuck was all that about? Kino kind of hopping and wiggling a fair bit, licking. You seem upset. Would licking help?
Sam, I think is like having
cohesion problems.
Like
shit.
One of, or just kind of a lot of what just happened was upsetting, but one thing especially that was said, and Sam is just hyperventilating, and it's much like the night that Draven found them. Their skin, their not just their skin, but their flesh is just rippling back and forth of
in flux.
Yeah.
Just bad dream.
Sam just trying to calm himself down.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Kino.
That was a lie. It was all a bad dream. That's not.
Snuggles.
He's like, I didn't.
He's doing his best, but he just
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 repeating that to
calling
himself.
and having a moment. Caroline on her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
There you go.
Caroline on her vigil before her
Yes.
candle, trying to square with this. And abruptly, there's pain. Comes vaulting up, and not always the friendliest of, demonic dogs. Comes in for a snuggle. Doing the big dog thing, just kind of getting under the arm. And
Hey, Pam.
kind of plopping in. He nuzzles.
Shit. So, what's your thoughts on this, huh? Nuzzles?
Here's some nuzzle. He seems to be legitimately thinking. But before he can, it's the deeper shadow just on the other side of the wagon.
Hmm.
Don't tell me you're having a crisis of faith.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of already know what I'm going to be doing. In fact, I've pretty much known when he said it.
It's this grim, skeletal figure on the other side.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she knows it's that.
Oh,
She
yeah.
knows. Don't worry.
Just making sure.
I'm not having an Alabama.
Already made up your mind, did you?
Yeah.
And
I mean, I gotta go through with it.
hmm,
In a sense, Draven's right. I have come too far to just let it go.
Hmm.
On the other hand, it don't really sit me right about being a hypocrite. That don't really sit right with me. Can't even really say I disagree. I agree.
well, listen. I've been in a position to judge people. People
Obviously.
can raise very valid arguments. They can use very well thought out and very effective means to argue them. They can explain in great and well-cited detail why things should be and go the way they wish. Being a hypocrite is hearing all of this and denying their pardon anyway. Just being right is not enough. Higher than truth is hope. The reality is, once you accept, to an extent, a willingness to say, yes, I understand. Yes, you are right. Yes, you should live, but today you die. Then you can accomplish almost anything. Being powerful is to stand forth with your ideals, even in the overwhelming, blistering light of reality. Hypocrite, evil, vicious, cruel, let them say what they wish. It doesn't matter. These words are simply the litany, the chorus of the losers. The only ones who complain, the only ones who whine, are those who fall. so ignore them.
I think I get it. Still, though, what happened to them ain't right, so.
Of course it's not. What is right?
So, the road this.
A little candle. A
I am
token.
gonna move on from this.
Hmm.
I am.
Good. That's good.
But I need to give them their due.
I suppose it's allowable. For the moment, anyway. But we have a job to do.
How do you feel about me?
Yes.
That's what I'm asking.
I didn't hear you, pretty kitty.
Ah, apologies. I asked, how do you feel about me being a god?
Oh, there's all sorts of gods. What is a god? Is it just something unimaginably more powerful than you? Or is there some defining feature? Depends on who you ask. To a commoner, a king might be a god. They have the sway of life and death. Their fate is a idle plaything in the hands of a king.
Oh, are you?
Oh no. Does that make a king a god because he has power? Perhaps. Do you wish to be powerful? Please do. Would you wish to be referred to as a god? I suppose the case could be made.
Alright, good. Then we're on the same page.
Good. Good.
Because the moment I hold that was in Soul, maybe I could fix some shit.
Of course. I think that would be an excellent idea. He somewhat dissipates as she continues her vigil in the depths of night. And it is a bit of a thing. In the evening, as the night goes on, as Sam tries not to have an existential crisis, and mostly fails, it is a small discussion between Filial and Draven as things progress. It's a few minor points, but Draven having a discussion. Filial, I don't want to intrude. Believe me. There's a problem, I believe.
What's that?
Well, I suppose we'd have to call it a family issue.
Compared to the task at hand, a minor inconvenience.
No, absolutely true. Absolutely true. But, believe me, it's the little things that can bring you down. Yeah. Would you like me to look into this?
Of course.
Excellent. I didn't want to intrude.
But I don't know what the significance is, where that possibly come from, or if it's a ruin thing or not, but visions recently lead me to believe that What's her name? Meldroma.
Yes, yes. Meldroma.
Meldroma is dispatched. Someone
relations. Yes, yes.
named Nima.
Yes, yes. I was concerned about that.
Does that name ring a bell?
To an extent. Well, you're a big boy. It's, well, it's your half-sister. Same mother.
Naturally.
Yeah. If my information is correct, and I'm not saying that it is, she would be one of 3 who lived and were retained. Again, I'm still confirming some of these things. I'm also trying to figure out why the hell this is becoming a problem suddenly. Mutual research project, I suppose we'll say. Get things figured out, but more to the point. Property. We need to get things equipped, established. Were you looking for something more modest, or something perhaps a little bit more to scale, should we say? I
We're
admit
talking
I am
long term
yes,
to scale.
to scale. I admit I am somewhat partial to the finer things in life. You know what I mean. So we're going. I would like to get things established, and we should probably do that beforehand because we do have one asset here. The wild streets are finicky. They have the advantage of getting almost anywhere, but they also get almost anywhere. Gates, though, that's another matter. And may be much more effectively done, especially if we can get a nice permanent residence secured. Granted, this will be dealing with City Hall. You're not agoraphobic, are you? The fear of open spaces, crowds, things like that.
No.
Oh, excellent.
If anything, it's the opposite.
Oh, good. 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 Very good, because we'll need some staff. So my thought is this. We'll pop by City Hall, hopefully tomorrow, and secure the necessaries.
How much does City Hall run on bureaucratic documentation here?
Significantly.
Would my skills in forgery come into play then?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I should warn you ahead of time. It's alive.
Yeah.
We want it to remain that way.
No. No. Yeah, that's, no. City Hall is alive, and the entities within it act as symbiotes, in a way. I feed on stories. It feeds on emotion and bureaucratic frustration. It'll make more sense at the time. Come armed, significantly so. But your forgery skill will absolutely come into play. I have some ideas for getting things, but it. You know gaseous form, right? Lovely. Lovely. So we'll see to that in the morning. Might want to pack lunch. It might be a little bit. But we'll get established. We'll get some gates going. And then we'll decide how things move forward. And if there is something worth redeeming, or... Well, it's all about scale, ultimately. You've rifled pockets while someone's still getting cold. It's all scale. Sometimes a bum, sometimes a world. That's all. You're a practical man. We'll get it figured out. Just trust me. That's all.
As far as I can see you.
But it is the 10 o'clock hour. And I don't want to drag people too much farther. But yes, I think that went relatively well. Some bullshit, some suffering.
I'm waiting for one specific moment, Raven. One
that
specific moment.
Might have to get that next time.
Yeah.
How do you fight City Hall? What do you mean it's alive?
With
What do you mean
an
it
army
survives
of
on
the dead.
bureaucratic frustration? How many Pokemon can you summon using necromancy?
What size bottle do I need to keep City Hall in?
No.
Oh my god. Can you resurrect? Can you raise dead City Hall?
How does shit work here? What happens in a city that is both alive and doesn't give a shit about people?
I don't know, but this is Tatter's home now for the foreseeable future, so she gonna find out.
I
don't know about after that, but she will be curious about this. This is her home now.
Will Squamelush be forced to be interpreter to a homeboy? If you don't know what that is, you're gonna find out. Tune in next time. I'm gonna have some shit. It should be fairly interesting.
A literal homeboy.
Very excited. That's what they're called. I didn't make. Well, I made up the name. It's fine. It's a big movie. Tune in next time. It's going to get weird. This is
weird.
I guess this is kind of. This isn't really season 2. This is sort of the epilogue prologue.
This is season 2.
It's getting in there.
Season 2 started.
Yeah, this is like the opener. This is the opener.
Yeah.
This is the opener.
Yeah. And if anything is to go by, as season openers do, I'm sure it's not opening the door to any sort of horrific consequences that might have happened here.
No.
I'm sure Sam is totally fine from the equivalent of "kiss me, fat boy" from fucking it.
Oh, it's fine. Everyone lies.
Everything is
That's totally
everyone's
fine.
lying. Everyone's lying. There is no truth being here. There's nothing.
We're not
there's
going to
nothing
leave this
dramatically
place in
buried.
dust and ruins like we have every other place we've left so far.
Don't you dare! This is my home now.
This is cool.
You leave my
That's why
home
you go
alone.
Other places to leave them in dust and ruin.
This is how you get Tatter out of the city. You destroy the city.
It's like starting a fire. You cross a state line first, then you do it.
Yeah.
Wait, hang on.
Then it's a federal crime.
Wait, hang on. Wait.
Raz in chat says licking town hall not recommended.
No,
They're discussing licking town hall, and I am here for this. Can we make town hall our friend?
Don't lick the floor.
But
do
I'm
the walls.
saying, yo,
Always,
dog,
always
we heard you liked liminal space. I'm
Yep.
Yeah, no,
not
this
saying
is
that you're
fine.
going to run
Everything
into a
is
scribble
fine.
monster. I'm just saying it's possible.
You leave your back rooms out of my.
You only take you and your back.
You take your back rooms.
Fuck off. This is an SCP household.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I see Siren Head, so help me
I
God.
swear to God.
I will turn this game around.
What 1,000
Oh,
dumplings?
don't
I don't
child
mean it.
God.
I don't mean it. 1,000 dumplings. I'm still your friend. I'm still your friend.
We appreciate you hanging out, though. Please do so again. Please pay attention. Please, for the love of God, pay attention to this. Please. I appreciate everybody helping me out personally. It really makes a big difference. I'm hoping that I will not have to fucking do this again. Probably will. I'm hoping not.
Ever. We're shooting for ever.
I'm hoping
we'll
for
start
ever.
with at least not in the next
It's
month.
my
We'll
son
start
is
let a
not
couple
full of
weeks
staph
slide.
infection, is walking better. So
That's so. I'm
you know,
so.
fuck that. It's a thing. All better.
Oh yeah.
Oh no! It's
What a
just a thunderstorm
fucking time.
outside, so I'm wondering if it's doing a thing. But we appreciate you very, very much. Please come hang out again. It will be wild. I'll try to get some combat. I know everyone likes combat. Try to do some stuff. We need a little exposition. It should be fun. How will Ruin respond to a giant city that isn't toppled down?
Ruin let the city stand.
Philly'll occasionally just get in the shakes like someone who's had too much sugar.
I haven't destroyed a city in a while. God.
Look at that fucking statue just standing there like some kind of asshole.
Who is
not
the
ruined
architect?
Who is the architect? That is a question.
We're gonna
That
find
is a
out.
question. I'm almost
Next
thinking it's
time
that.
on...
Oh.
I have to go to bed.
Presumably dead?
Okay.
Presumably dead? But come check it out again. We will see you next time. Bye. We'll see you. We appreciate it very, very much.
Bye.
Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
Bye.
Bye, buddy. Hope